Mr. President, esteemed members of the NATO Parliamentary Assembly, dear colleagues, heads of state, prime ministers, ministers, distinguished guests, dear hosts, dear mayor, and especially Congressman Tanner. It is with deep appreciation and a sense of responsibility that I join you here in Dayton, a city that changed our history. 30 years ago, the Dayton Peace Agreement ended the devastating war and created the constitutional framework for Bosnia and Herzegovina that reflected the realities of our society. It gave each of its three constituent peoples and two entities the right to self-govern within one state. Dayton did not erase our differences, it organized them. It did not impose unity, it structured it. Today, however, that balance is slowly unraveling, not by democratic mandate, but through the actions of unelected international actors who treat Dayton not as a binding agreement, but as a living document to be stretched, reinterpreted, and rewritten, and all without consent. The truth is that in the past 30 years, Bosnia has been treated as a radical nation-building project, and this experimental approach had led the country from one crisis to another. Almost all foreign interventions have been carried out without negotiation, without parliamentary process, and without constitutional legitimacy. And it is fair and suitable to reiterate here in the very city of Dayton that the Dayton Agreement never gave the right to any unelected foreign bureaucrat under the title of High Representative to impose or amend our laws, to suspend our entity constitutions, to weaponize our legal system, to silence and remove from office our democratically elected leaders, such as the leader of the Republika Srpska or President of Republika Srpska, or to punish our political parties. But all this has been done by Mr. Christian Schmidt and many of his predecessors in the past 3 decades. That is our reality. The most troubling is the turn toward lawfare, where legitimate political disagreement is answered with criminal charges, indictments, and threats of arrest. I have listened carefully what President Trump, Vice President Vance, Secretary Rubio, and just recently here in Dayton, Deputy Secretary of State Landau have stated. And it is quite clear that the nation-building pattern promoted in Bosnia for 3 decades is in contravention with the policy of the new President Trump-led administration. And I want to believe that this administration will help us save democracy in Bosnia, where its future will be written not by decree and foreign dictate, but by law and our constitution. I come from Republika Srpska, and let me emphasize that we are not undermining the Dayton Agreement. We are upholding it. But we do not want to be told how to govern by those who do not vote in our elections, those who do not speak our languages, and do not bear the consequences of their decrees. One example of our dedication is that November 21st, the day the Dayton Agreement was initialed, is a public holiday in Republika Srpska, where I come from. But in the other entity, it is a normal working day. What we do want is to restore Dayton, to return to the agreement as it was signed, not as it is now imagined by some. That is why Republika Srpska is seeking to go back to basics. We are ready to engage in structured dialogue with all parties. If the agreement is to evolve, it must evolve lawfully, through amendment and mutual consent. We also believe in strategic partnership with the US regarding investment in energy sector, as well as exploitation of the reserves of the critical minerals grounded in transparency and constitutional law. In closing, let me emphasize, peace was possible in 1995 because all the parties were respected and all the parties were heard. Peace in 2025 will require the same. Let us recommit on this anniversary to what Dayton truly meant: consent, constitutionality, and cooperation among equals. Let us go back to basics so the next 30 years are better than the last 30. And if we do not do that, then we have not achieved anything. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your attention.